I just finished Season 2 of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. You guys call it Part 3, but let me say, Yar Days, that was a freaking good season. Anyways, let's jump right into the tier list. You guys might be angry at some of my placements, but luckily all the names are here, because there was quite a lot of main characters and a lot of enemies, to be honest. So, let's start with Joseph. Now, some of these might get moved around at the end, but of course, before we get into it, just so you let you guys know, if you want to watch Jojo with me, check out the link in the description. Anyways, Joseph, where should we put him? I think he's the top of A tier. Like, Hermit Purple was kind of mid. There were some times when it was a little bit clutch. He might get moved up to S tier. Don't get super mad at me, but I think he's like the top of A tier. It was just like, he was more like the mastermind, like the genius guy in the group, you know, with Avdol and also Kakyoin. He wasn't like the powerhouse, I gotta say. So I'm gonna keep him there. I might change him later on, but anyways, we got Holly. Now, Holly is a real one. I'm also gonna base this off of like how much I like the characters, not just how strong they are. So Holly, very nice person, obviously. And the thing is, you didn't really get to see her much. It was like the very beginning, then basically nothing, and then at the very end, she talks a little bit. So, definitely one of the better characters. Not the best, not S tier. I don't know if she could be A tier. I think she's going to be somewhere in the middle of B tier. I don't think she should be C or D. I think she's somewhere in B tier, because obviously she can't really fight, but she is a really nice character. Definitely, like, super wholesome. Avdol, my boy. Okay, so in terms of power, he's definitely, like, between A and S tier. Not the strongest that we've seen. Definitely super strong, but super smart. He is, like, the leader of the group, essentially. Him and Joseph, basically the leaders of the group. I think Avdol is definitely S. I'm putting him in S. Now, Kakyoin, he went all out for our boys. I gotta say, if I had to put him somewhere, he's so good, though. He's so strong. He's, like, versatile. Not only, he doesn't have just, like, one little power that he can do. He can, like, go inside things. He can, like, blast people. And he's also super smart. I think he's also... Dang, maybe Joseph has to go S tier. I say he's A. I say, you know what? After a little bit of thought, he's S tier. Because I was thinking, like, Death 13. Bro, our whole squad was wiped if it wasn't for Kakyoin. He was smart enough to, like, carve in his arm, Baby Stundo. Baby stand. For that, I think he's going to be the very bottom of S. Like, to be fair, he's not as strong as, like, Jotaro, for example. But he is very smart, and he's very versatile. I think I gotta put him S. Jotaro, obviously S. There's not really... I mean, not only is he, like, the strongest in our group, but at the very end, he also learns he has a second ability, which is kind of insane. So, obviously, he has to be S tier. Okay, Polnareff. Is that how you say it? Bro is a legend. God dang. I think he has to be below Avdol, above Kakyoin, and I don't know why. I just can't put Joseph in S. He is super important, and I love him as a character. But in terms of, like, power... Because some of the, like, obviously, I think the fighters you have to, like, rank in terms of power, and a little bit, like, 80% their power, and 20% how much you like them. I think Joseph, I like him one of the best, because obviously he's been around, right? He's been around since the last season. But in terms of power, he just doesn't compare to these other guys. I mean, he's kind of like Kakyoin. He's got, like, that long distance. His stand has uses, but I think he's the weakest out of the group. So I think Polnareff is better than Kakyoin in terms of fighting. These are basically all equal, but Jotaro's slightly above. It's weird because Jotaro, he was kind of the least talkative the whole series. He was just the most clutch. Alright, now we're going to get into a couple of enemies, it looks like. Tower of Grey. I think this is the first of Dio's stands. I might be wrong with the order, but this guy was on the plane. And he didn't really cause too much trouble. I think any enemy that only has one part definitely did not cause too much trouble. In that case, this is their very first enemy. He is going to be like the top of C tier. I mean, he was definitely really dangerous and also pretty interesting. But you know, I think he's like top of C tier. And you're thinking like, oh, he's stronger than Holly, but like also like he's just a side guy. Like, bro, he's not that important. But now we have Inyaba, Justice. Okay, this one is kind of interesting. It was kind of like Dio's sidekick, but actually she died or got eliminated, whatever, dealt with early on. I mean, in comparative to like the whole season. I think she is definitely one of those, she might be A tier, but she was so easily defeated. She was just gimmicky, except she kind of like made the illusion of the whole town. You know what? She is really interesting though. I think I'm gonna put her, I think she was gimmicky. I think B tier. Really strong and really interesting, but I think B tier. Now we have Dark Blue Moon. This is that one guy who was like the fake captain of the ship. I think he was kind of strong, but like I'm almost certain it's like Jojo had to 1v1 him. He didn't really cause that much trouble. No one had to like risk their life to go save him. I think he's one of those C tiers. I think he's probably above Tower of Grey, so I'll put Tower of Grey below him. Okay, now we have a character who is not a fighter, Anne. She kind of like tagged along. She was on like the ship, and she ended up being like kind of a funny character, very suspicious character. I think she's kind of funny. I'll actually probably put her in B tier. She wasn't around for very long. I don't think she's C tier. I think she could go in B. She's kind of funny. And also, she ended up being, like, part of the squad for a little bit. Also, she didn't necessarily, like... she, like, indirectly helped. She is kind of like Jojo. Something's wrong with Kakyoin. Remember when the, Yellow Temperance, that guy's coming up. She, like, pointed it out. So she kind of helped them. Like, she wasn't just useless character. So, I'll put her in B tier. She might be above Holly, to be honest. It might be like this. Holly is definitely B. I'm not taking her out, but yeah, I think it's definitely going to be like this. Alright, moving on, we have Strength, a very suspicious stand user, and actually, probably one of the most interesting. He could, like, make the image of this ship and control everything on it, so, like, if there was some sort of equipment, he could just use the equipment to kill someone. I thought he was really strong. Very interesting stand user. I think he's actually kind of asleep, even though he was a one-parter, or actually maybe he was two parts. I can't remember if it was one or two, but he's kind of a sleeper stand user. He's actually like on par with, I think at least B tier. He's not a C tier type of dude. He is at least B tier. Now in terms of how much I like him, not very much, but I think his like power is like not to be slept on. Okay. Now we have Ebony Devil. I don't know if that was like his name in the show. I remember it was like the devil dude. It was something devil, but like he was like the doll, and it was actually a really creepy one. Polnareff like stabbed him or something, and he's like, "I'm gonna get revenge on you." Like that's like his plan, because then he can use that power to be like, okay, like I'm going after him. He did get kind of 1v1 by Polnareff. He wasn't like the strongest stand user. I mean, same with Strength, I guess. It's kind of a weird one. Like think about it. He could have got one-shotted, even though it was a really creepy stand. I think I might change some of my ratings, but Dark Blue Moon, I keep C. I think he's going to be top of D tier. I think Tower Grey goes D tier, because I think the Devil guy is stronger than the Grey guy, even though the Grey guy was like fighting multiple of the crew, and the Devil guy was like fighting just one. It's so gimmicky. Like think about it. Like if they knew he was the stand user, he could have got one shot like instantly. He could have just been like, okay, that's it, and then he wouldn't have escaped. That's it, done. So it was like by luck, because they didn't know that he got away, and then he started attacking. So I think D tier. Now Yellow Temperance. This is a really weird one. I can't even remember how Jojo won. It was like really weird. He ended up winning by like, what the heck did he do? It's like you can't hit him or something, and this guy can shapeshift. And basically, like, once it touches you, it's gonna start, like, eating you up. But then, like, as a character, I don't like him at all, because he's like, gonna betray Dio, and he's like, oh, and I'll fight you. Oh, just kidding. I think he's a C tier dude. Definitely, not to be messed with, but, I didn't like the character at all. I didn't like the character at all. I think this power was pretty good, but the character, not so much. I think above Dark Blue Moon, though. Yeah. Top of C tier for now. Centerfold. I can't remember his real name, but basically, the Hanged Man. Now, this guy was really scary and interesting. Basically, he was like bouncing off of mirrors and stuff. So as long as there was a reflection, he could like show up. To be honest, I mean, like once they found him, I mean, Polnareff was pretty smart about it. He eventually got him, but this guy caused a lot of trouble. This might be the first enemy that goes into the bottom of A tier. This might be an A tier enemy. Even though he got destroyed, I think. So, I'll put him in A for now. We might move him later on. Whole Horse. Okay, this is just a very silly guy. He actually did shoot Avdol. And he does linger around for a while in the plot. I like him as a character because he's just silly and funny. But in terms of power, he's a D tier. But in terms of like character, he's probably like B. He's like actually like kind of funny. So therefore, I'll put him in C. He's not very strong, not very useful to Dio. But he is like kind of one of those characters that definitely has like more like life in him than some of these other ones. So I'll put him in C. All right, Empress. This was like Whole Horse's. I don't know. I think that was like an act or something, but like they were together or something. I don't know. But anyways, Empress, actually a very creepy stand user who like basically spits out the buds, and those buds end up like taking over their body. Remember, it almost killed Joseph, and then Joseph like put it in tar or something, and it actually I don't even know how that worked. Like, how did that affect the stand? Anyways, it ended up working. This is one of those like actually creepy ones. I don't like her as a character at all, but she was very smart. Like there were so many times when like she was about to get caught, and she was like talking to Polnareff, and she was like, I don't know, fake flirting or something with him, and she was so smart because she knew Joseph was like trying to find the user. She was really smart. Obviously, they got rid of her, but I think for sure she's one of those C tiers, and that's in terms of power. In terms of the character, like basically nothing is there for me to judge. Whole Horse is strictly in C because of character. Empress is actually because she's kind of strong. Alright, now we have Wheel of Fortune, which, if I remember, because the picture is, like, not very, like, it doesn't ring a bell to me, but I just looked it up. It's the car guy. So, this is that car that's, like, following him around. I'm pretty sure they were, like, getting followed by him. But anyways, it was kind of a decent battle, and it almost got them all killed. I think in terms of power, once they figured it out, not so like insane, but in terms of like how it like built up, it actually seemed kind of scary. I think this is one of those if Dark Blue Moon is C tier. Okay, bottom of C tier. I think he's above Dark Blue Moon. Probably, you know what, he might be okay, he's below Yellow Temperance. Wheel of Fortune. Steely Dan Lovers. Now, this one was a freaking weird stand. The weakest stand of them all. And actually a very good villain. You know, he wasn't like, he wasn't a character you were going to like at all. I think, overall, this is a A tier. They barely, nick of time, saved Joseph. Like, this was not a joke. Like, this dude, like, yes, we beat him, for sure. But I put him in A. Like, that is a scary, like, that's a scary enemy. Moving on, we have Sun. Now, I know this picture doesn't, like, make much sense, but the name makes a lot of sense. It's the guy who was, like, the Sun stand. Really weird one. It was kind of a one-off. You know what? I put him above the... I don't know why I'm putting Tower of Grey so low. I put him below Tower of Grey, because he actually didn't kill anyone besides, I think, the camels, maybe. At least Tower of Grey was, like, hurting them. This guy was just kind of a silly one. They were even laughing out loud once they found him. Okay, Death 13. What a creepy little baby. This is a very scary stand user. I'm putting him in A straight away. I think he caused more damage than Yaba. He literally, like, almost killed all of them. It was just by chance that Kakyoin was like, this is a stand user, I'm gonna prove it. And he whipped his stand out, and then he got knocked out. Basically, they go to sleep, and this guy would be able to go into their dreams, and, like, he'd be like this, like, Grim Reaper Scythe dude. This is a scary stand user. I think maybe above Centerfold, because this is one that you actually, like, this is probably the scariest one of them all. Honestly, like, you're in a dream. I think it's kind of tied with the Lovers one. It's about tied. Definitely above Centerfold. But anyways, this one, Cameo Judgment. So this one is hard to remember. I also looked this one up because I'm like, what is this name? Like, what does this even mean? It's the one that grants the wishes. So when they went to that, like, hidden island or whatever, and they found, like, Abdul's father, because Abdul was, like, recovering, and they went to go pick him up, essentially. This is that dude who was granting the wishes. Now, this is a really weird one. He didn't end up being, like, that strong or anything. It definitely was some good episodes. I don't think he's all that good, but I liked the episodes with him in it because, like, I mean, he actually almost killed Polnareff. If Abdul didn't show up, he would die. You know what? I put him in B because there was, like, actual, like, life danger involved in that one. I think so far it's pretty good, but now we have Suzy Q. Suzy Q is a very smart person. And actually, I thought she was kind of just dumb the whole time, but she, like, knew what was going... Like, her instinct was on point. Now, obviously, she is one of those side characters that, like, comes in now and again, so I can't obviously base her on power. But she's the one who wanted to... She trusted Joseph. She's like... And then Joseph died. And then he came back. So... I think Suzy Q is, like, in terms of likability, because she's, like, the homie, right? I think she's top of, I think she is, dang it, man. If I put her in C tier, I mean, how can you say, like, Holly is a better character than Suzy Q? It's like the same, it's like the same. So in that case, I put it at B. I put it at B. I think Holly is maybe more likable than Suzy Q, just because Suzy Q is, like, slightly annoying for most of the series because you're just like, what? Like, this is so dumb. Like, why are they even showing her? Whatever. At the end, she becomes more clutch. But anyways, Roses. Even though I think it's with a Z. This is like, I don't actually know who he was in the past or if he was anything in the past, but, bro, he was a cool guy and Joseph trusted him a lot. And he also, like, kicked one guy. That was the cool part of him. But I don't like him because he was keeping Suzy Q in the dark. And the other guy who just showed up out of nowhere was like, you gotta, like, tell her at some point. So that makes me not like him. He's cool, but that makes me not like him. I put him in C. I put him maybe above Dark Blue Moon. Okay, I think I gotta rearrange some of these. I'm gonna base a little bit on how much I like them. Wheel of Fortune, definitely, I don't care. Yellow Temperance, I don't like him at all, but he's strong. He's, like, almost strong enough to be B tier, so that, for that reason, I keep him here. I think this is good so far. High Priestess. This was a weird one, because they were just about to get to, Egypt, right? So, she, like, went and destroyed the submarine, essentially. You know what? She was actually kind of a strong stand user. It was kind of weird. It was weird that, like, they were able to beat it, because I thought they were, like, I don't know, something was going to happen. But this is before Iggy. Kind of a weird one. I think I put her in C. I think I put the Wheel of Fortune maybe top of D tier, actually. No, you know what? He was creepy. I think this is good so far. Okay. Iggy. Iggy is definitely... I mean, okay, he's not S. He is not S. He's going in A. I think he should be above Centerfold. I think this is a good spot for Iggy. I think Iggy is the GOAT. I guess he did 1v1 a stand user. The other animal stand user, which was the crow, or the falcon, this pet shop Horus. He was kind of clutch. And also he saved Polnareff. You know what? He has to go into... but then that means Joseph has to go into S too. He sacrificed his life to save someone else. He has to go S. Dang it. No, he's going below Joseph. Just below Joseph. Okay, don't take... Dang it. This is hard to do, man. This is hard to do. I can't put Iggy in S just because he's not the strongest. He's very smart. He's one of the boys. Don't get me wrong, he's one of the boys. Very smart. He saved Polnareff's life. Joseph, but Joseph is like above Iggy. And then he hasn't been around. I mean, it's so hard, man. Because Kyakuin is like the homie. He's been around since the beginning. Like, legit. He was the first enemy that they saved, and then he became part of their party. And he sacrificed himself at the end. I think this is good so far. I'm keeping Iggy right there. Now we have a dude who, honestly, this is going to sound crazy. This is the guy who was like the water coming out of the ground and could instantly kill everything. He had a little staff, blind dude. I think this is a S tier enemy. Like, in terms of power, S tier. Dang it. Yeah, he's like, he could easily destroy Joseph, easily destroy Iggy, easily destroy Kyakuin, easily destroy all, like, seriously, all of them. But because he has, like, no character aspect, actually, he was, like, kind of, like, honorable at the end. But, man, this was probably the scariest guy at first for a long time. I was like, whoa, like, how are they going to beat him? It took Jojo plus Iggy to kill him. So, like, this, now we're past the point of, like, it can be 1v1, right? It's got to be more than 1v1 now. So, I put him in the bottom of S. Might move him later on. I think he's stronger than, like, the Lovers or Death 13 or Centerfold. Because literally, he was, like, I don't know, meters, hundreds of meters away. And he's literally just like, okay, where are they? Shoot him through the ground. Kind of insane. Okay, Oingo. The shape-shifting brother. This dude is the bottom of D tier. Not because I don't like him. He was a funny guy. You know what? Above the sun. Because I like him as a character. In terms of power, like, literally nothing. Anyways, we got Boingo. The one with the book. Boingo. Boingo is a funny guy. His stand is... Okay, his stand doesn't fight. You know what? I think he might be the leader of D tier. But I like him as a character. I like him as a character, though. Like, Boingo? I like him more than the High Priestess. I like him more than the Wheel of Fortune. I like him more than Dark Blue Moon. I like him more than Nina. And, honestly, I like him more than Roses. Right next to Whole Horse, where he belongs. Okay, Anubis. What a weird stand user. This was the weapon. This was the weapon. Anyone who used Anubis basically got taken over by him. Became like the wielder of Anubis. This is a really weird stand user and also very strong. He actually didn't die. They just like threw him into the water so no one could use him again. Honestly, pretty like low-key strong. I put him above Yaba. Top of B tier. The only thing is like he can't fight by himself. So I think that prevents him from getting to A. Like if no one picks up Anubis, no problem. It's no problem at all. Okay. Bestet. The Magnet Woman. Very suspicious character. But, probably one of the most unique. I think it's like, it's kind of one of those yellow temperance type of characters. Where it's like, it's not gonna like instantly just boom right in the face. It's like, oh shoot, like we're in trouble. I think this character is B tier. Probably one of the most unique stand users. And honestly, it was like, I mean, okay, they eventually killed her, but like, she was no joke. She was no joke at all. I think this was like kind of legit, like kind of scary legit stand user. All right, now we have the weirdest one of all, Alessi. This one basically, like, turns you into a baby. Very, very unique stand user. And also very creepy. He says, like, very good. Very good. I don't really understand that part. This is a really weird character. I think in terms of power, this is probably a C tier. It's kind of gimmicky to the point where it's like, it should definitely be below Boingo. You know what? I think it goes here. Middle of C. He wasn't all that strong or, like, scary. He's just really weird, but definitely, like, he could take out the whole... He could accidentally basically take out all of the crew. Because he almost took out 2 of them, except, wasn't it Kyakuin that found him or something? I can't remember who it was, but, like, the other person got, like, nerfed. Oh, it was, Jotaro, I think. But, like, they were able to still use her stand. It was something like that. I think it was Kyakuin, because, like, he's had the stand since a little kid. I don't know, but it was, like, barely. They barely... Oh, yeah, Polnareff had his, too, but, like, he could be really strong, except he's not, like, that scary. He's just a really weird character and very, very, unique. Okay, I don't know why this character's in here. Milena. This is the one that was, like, taking care of Polnareff when he was, like, 2 years old or whatever, for a second. I don't know why this character's in here. Very suspicious character. I put her... Where do I put her? Is she better than the... Is she the worst character in the list? Someone has to be the worst. The sun had no lines. Oingo was funny. Dang it, Tower of Grey though. I feel like I'm being rude, man. Alright, she's not the bottom, but she is D tier. Darby Elder, Osiris. Man, this guy, he is a freaking cool guy. I put him right at the bottom of S tier. Why? Because he almost took out the whole crew. He almost took out the whole crew, but Jotaro was too freaking insane. I think no, you know what? This guy was, like, actually deadly scary. I gotta do that. Darby's definitely up there. Now, Darby Younger. I put him in A. I think, man, I can't put him above Iggy, though. I actually really like that character. He wasn't as scary as his older brother. He was definitely legit. But the thing is, he was only able to capture 1. Darby almost captured all of them. He captured 2 of them, and then, like, Jotaro was about to lose. Then he pulled that, like, crazy stunt. I think this is fair. I mean, this guy worked in the mansion, so obviously he's got to be above, like, pretty much all the other people. Man, this guy didn't work in the mansion, though. I might change stuff at the end. All right. Pet Shop Horace. What a weird name. Why Pet Shop? Anyways, that's probably not, like, the real name. That's, like, the censored name, I'm sure. Let me know in the comments below. But this was actually a really scary stand user. But only Iggy fought it. Iggy soloed this, and it was actually pretty close. Iggy is no joke. But this thing is pretty... Like, this thing is all power. It's not about liking it. It's literally scary. I think... right in A tier above Centerfold. Probably scarier than Centerfold. I think Death 13 is like... Okay, there's not much scarier besides lovers, and then, like, it's just strong people after that. So, that's how I'm going to do it. Now we have Cool Ice, which I've been told is actually Vanilla Ice. This dude is clearly S tier. I think definitely the strongest enemy besides Dio. This dude not only was... like, I don't know, could just melt people instantly. Like, Abdul actually died from him. And then, basically, he died, but he had Dio's blood, so he was like a vampire. So it was only kind of by luck that they were able to defeat him. Now, obviously, eventually they just pushed him into the light or whatever. I didn't like this character at all, because he was so horrible. In terms of, like, he was, like, kicking Iggy. Oh, God, I hate that part. But in terms of power, he cannot not be S tier, sadly. Nukasaku. This dude is completely useless. Oh yeah, he has like 2 faces or something. He is legit, like... Dude, he's actually worse than Oingo. Why? Because Oingo could fully shapeshift. This dude just has, like, a face on the back of somebody. Pretty bad. And, of course, Dio. Dio is basically... I don't like... I mean, okay, as a character, whatever. He's a little bit cool. In terms of character, I put him at, like, B. Obviously, we hate him. But in terms of power, he's, like, above S. I think the only place I can put Dio is literally right here. Because he basically would solo everyone besides Jotaro. Alright, let's make any last adjustments here. I think this is pretty good. Polnareff. I mean, these are basically all tied. Abdul maybe slightly above Polnareff and Kyakuin. Cool Ice, I think, is probably the strongest enemy besides Dio. This dude is next, and then Darby. actually wasn't very like strong until you started to play his game. Once he started playing his game, holy crap, what a scary guy. Joseph is the top of A tier because his character is like S plus. His character is S plus. His strength is like B, like straight B. So that therefore, I think top of A tier is fine for Joseph. And then of course Iggy just has to be below Joseph. He's not all that strong. He's decently strong, and he sacrificed his life. But Joseph like not only died, sacrificed everything, helped everyone get to everywhere, saved the day. I don't know. It's so hard to like put these guys in S. They can't be in S. Their power is like B. Their character is like S plus, but their power is in B. I feel like to be in S tier, your power has to be at least A, and your character has to be at least S. It's got to be like, you got to have A and S, not just B and S. So I think power-wise, B, character-wise, S+, same thing with AE. Now, Darby Younger, I think he's straight A tier. Like, pretty scary guy. We actually did get Kakyoin. He's kind of, you know what, actually, he's kind of weak. I am going to put him above the Pet Shop. But I think the Steely Dan Lovers guy, that guy was a villain. We did not like that guy. He almost had his way. Pretty scary. Also, the weakest stand user, pretty interesting. He also killed Inyaba. He killed one of his own. So definitely not like just someone just random. He's a scary guy. Death 13 doesn't need to be explained. Very scary. I think that's good. Pet Shop Horus. Only Iggy fought him, so we don't actually know if this dude was like mega strong, but definitely scary in terms of like animals. Killed those dogs and stuff. I mean, this dude was scary, kind of no joke. But then we have Centerfold. More like pretty unique. Eventually they finally found him. He was a big villain for sure. And then we have Anubis. Kind of gimmicky. I think B and below is like gimmicky, but maybe still strong. Anubis was very strong, but very gimmicky. So easily beaten in the very end. And Yaba, very gimmicky, but super powerful. Obviously not to be messed with. She basically created the whole town. We got Anne. Like I said, I think she's kind of funny, and she was part of the crew for a little bit. Holly, we didn't actually get to see very much of her after like the very first couple episodes. But then we have Suzy Q and Holly. These are kind of tied. I think Anne is just slightly above them in terms of how much I like the characters. Just because she was kind of funny and she was with the boys for a little bit. Then we have Strength. Like I said, I think this character is actually really strong. Very unique stand user. I didn't really like the character itself. But it was one of those where you're like, you don't really know what's going to happen next. You're like, oh shoot, like what's going to happen? Like, I didn't know what was like about to go down or whatever. But eventually they beat him. I thought he was pretty good. Okay, the guy who grants wishes, I think his power is so-so. But he actually almost killed Polnareff. And I thought the episodes were really good. So, like, character-wise, I put him kind of, like, A+. Like, for what his character brought, or his stand brought. I think that's A+. I think his power is more like C. So, I think B is okay. Okay. Now we have the Magnet Woman. She might be... You know what? That's probably good. She was not to be messed with. Like, her power was actually kind of scary. I mean, it was like a gimmick, right? Like, once you figured it out, they were actually able to use that power against her. But pretty good stand user. Now, Yellow Temperance is one of those, like, actually very scary stand users, for sure. I can't even remember how he was beaten at this point. But I remember he did get beaten. Oh yeah, it was like Haman. He used Haman or something on the stuff. I'm pretty sure. There's something like that. I don't even remember at this point. But this one was pretty creepy. Whole Horse, just a really good, like an A tier character, a D- power. Boingo, same thing. I just liked the character. It was funny. His power is D tier. His character is like B+. Roses, obviously he's supposed to be a really liked character, but actually I didn't really like him. Because he didn't do what he was supposed to do. Like, that rando dude was about to be the hero and be like, hey, this is what's going on. Actually, I will put him down a little bit. And we got Nina, scary, Alessi, weird, Dark Blue Moon, kind of almost destroyed Jotaro. Wheel of Fortune, not that big of a problem once they finally fought him. High Priestess, kind of an interesting one. I think definitely above Wheel of Fortune. I think definitely above Dark Blue Moon. I think above Roses. Yeah, I think Roses is closer to bottom of C. Okay, D tier, we have the doll guy. He was pretty good, but like I said, I could just get one shot. Just get one shot. Tower of Grey, the very first enemy. He was like gonna bite your tongue or something like that. I don't know. It was an interesting one. Oingo, he was a really funny character. His funniness is like B tier. His power is like D minus. Literally the worst. Actually, I think is the worst stand user. Like literally pointless. Absolutely pointless. But anyways, Nukasaku. This dude, pretty darn useless. And then, of course, only more useless than him is a character without a stand, who is in one episode, who is a very suspicious character. I don't even know why she's on this list. Then we have Sun. Actually, sorry, Milena is the worst. Sun is better than Milena, because he has a stand. That's my tier list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one.